Hello fellow gamers, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 11 of my new series, Let's Play Disco Elysium. In today's episode, we will meet the prime suspects for the murder of the hangman, Titus Hardie and the rest of the Hardie boys. The detectives will also get to match the prints that they've previously identified in the crime scene to their respective owners. If you want to know more about the interaction, do watch out until the end. But before you do, please consider hitting the subscribe button as it would truly help the channel out. Also, smash that bell icon to get notified of my new uploads. And so, without further ado, let's get into the game.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiast. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardie Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. Everything points to the dock workers' union. The tracks in the mud. The circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information, which may, of course, all be wrong. But I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the debarders' union. In fact, even the death of two detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
And there's...
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry.
It's fine,
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie.
A faint smile.
The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. You have more important things to worry about.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
Just some field work, sweetie. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The water lock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, sweetie, Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him. Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Oh, sweetie, if it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night.
You're welcome.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the whirling. He gets so tanked. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket. Oh, thank you, dear. I confess I am glad to see it again. Very honorable of you, officer.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass. You see 2, maybe 3 bushes, grown into a single thicket. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still, one can't see into the Union box from the yard outside. That hawthorn is too thick.
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardie? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not...
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on what...
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face.
No. Talk to Titus. Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. No one is emotional here. Do your job. Ask your questions, then leave. What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one. What are we going to do? The Union isn't going to do anything to you. If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress. Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. Incrementally. Yawn, you'd get there faster with a little speed. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. Tisk tisk, just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that, what rationality? What a fucking joke. Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? Then you've never lived through real chaos. Sometimes, in the face of great disaster, defending the status quo is progress. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We are looking for Titus Hardie.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man, in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46, eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet. Across at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43, gang tattoos, Mesk or Sarah Mauritian, in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardie, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and two front teeth in the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks, probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardie?
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
It has to be good if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
You mean these boots? We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck. Yeah. We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why our prints are all over the scene.
No, you don't. What you have is 7 honest men who thought it forthcoming to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardie boy without arresting all Hardie boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax.
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier, the representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town. And he stepped out alive.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Seminine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it. But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all!
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like...
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you, clown.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't...
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
With numbers, asshole. How do you...
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, the least antsy of the bunch. Definitely not his first time being questioned by the police. This little rat-faced fellow is solid too. Always fidgety, yes, but no change there. Him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there.
No.
Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
And fuck you too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder.
Like what, Copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer.
Look, Coppers. I know you think you're doing your job here. But there are 7 of us, and 2 of you.
The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast, not an echo. No one screams. It's a...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
This didn't change her opinion of you. It's not her. She's not a Hardie girl. Definitely.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one.
About fuck.
Was that? Could it be the Col de Mama d'Aqua?
What do you see?
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Looking for something to read. It is. I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
Mm-hmm. What with? My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time. No. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
It's got to be something else then. Why else would you be asking her if it wasn't?
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not missing.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
I see. Thanks. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you...
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Please, let's do.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on her shoulders. She deserves a hug for all the work she's done for mankind. An array of neurons fire up with joy. Bum her a cigarette, lest it turn to pain. You step in and close your arms around this foreign body, wandering astray in touch. There's a small movement beneath your hands as you shut your eyes. Then a tiny voice breaks out and asks,
What is happening?
She seems to be confused. Your hands are wrapped around her polyester coat. The fabric feels cold, moist from the sea nearby. She steps back and returns her attention to books, pretending this hug didn't happen.
No, I don't. Why do you think that I smoke? It's not like yours look much better. I already told you I don't have any. Go bother some from the kiosk. There's one near the harbor. It's frita. You can look it up.
She sighs. The woman before you nods and returns to her reading. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has the ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open. I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Only the black cable is plugged into the breaker box. Something close to you dies with a soft electric.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows. This orange machine is dead. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You see the pry bar.
Yeah, well, I have no idea.
Sooner or later, there it is, a brave little army in your pocket. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Light up. Get a load of this rock and roll cop hair, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of the thumb, there's fire. A primal satisfaction. Here we go. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself, the man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Very good. That will be 7 real for 1 custom die. 1 universal die for Wero Untethered.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone. Hewn.
I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Hello guys, I'm gonna cut this episode here. Please be on the lookout for the next one. Again, if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Also, I have another series on my channel, and it's called Average Gamer Plays on Hard Mode. It's a series wherein I play titles with a difficulty level set on the hardest mode. If you want to know how an average gamer fares playing on the hardest mode, you should definitely check it out. And with that, I am signing off, and I will see you fellow gamers on the next episode.